Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Hakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Corner Wath with the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp. Come with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And this afternoon, I was listening to the Elder Yashawamba. His lesson that he did a couple days ago, and he played this clip here with Jordan Peterson, right? And it gave me the inspiration for this lesson, to that the truth is stranger than fiction, man, right? So I'm gonna play this clip, and then we'll get into a few scriptures. Lord willing, this be edifying. Fair use, fair use.
This is going to happen here, I think, too, although maybe people will fight it. So in China, for example, if a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, the digital ID system has your blood now, has your genetic code. It can identify how you walk. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score. And if your social credit score falls below a certain level, you can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train. You can't get out of your 15-minute city. They're microchipping welding machines in China now, so you won't be able to use a welding machine without scanning your face. They have locked down knives in China. Knives are literally chained to the counter.
Oh, like at the bank or something, you mean?
No, in your house. All that's already in place in China.
Do you think that would be helpful or unhelpful?
It would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a picnic.
And that's what gave me the inspiration for the lesson, man. Right? I'm saying that, with the times that are about to come to pass, right? The different draconian measures that we see, being implemented are gonna make that book, George Orwell's 1984, which is about a dystopian future, right? Make it look like a picnic, man. Right? So that to get that word for strange, right? Because the truth, right, what we understand is about to come to pass is stranger than what they could even make up, man. Right? Prophecy is going to be even more intense than you can imagine. Right? Now, this is the word for strange. It reads not previously known, unfamiliar, not of one's own or a particular locality, environment, or kind, not native, out of the ordinary or difficult to account for, unusual, peculiar, right? Because these things, right, outside of the men of the Lord, and the these various insiders, people don't know what's coming, man, right? That's why the scriptures tell us to be circumspect, man, right? They tell us to pay attention to what's going on. You read in Tobit, it tells you to be circumspect in all things, because what's about to happen is worse than you can even imagine, right? It's worse than the worst fiction novel that you can write, right? That George Orwell's was about a terrible time, right? A dystopian future. But what's to come, like you said, is going to make that look like a picnic, man. It's going to make that look like a walk in the park, right? It says, not accustomed to or conditioned in a strange manner. And that's pretty much the point on that, right? Because, right, the truth, right, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, knowing what's to come, right, is going to be stranger than what they could even imagine, man, right? Let's go to, actually, let's get this real quick, right? This is Psalm 144, and I'll start in verse 7. It reads, send thine hand from above, rid me and deliver me out of the great waters, from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and the right hand is the right hand of falsehood. I will sing a new song unto thee, O Most High, upon the psaltery, and an instrument of 10 strings will I sing praises unto thee. It is he that giveth salvation unto kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. Right. Because, like I said, these are strange children, man. Right. Unusual. Right. Going back to that definition. Right. Unfamiliar. Right. And what are they not familiar with, man? Righteousness. Right. uh, out of the ordinary. These men are moving contrary to righteousness, contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shem Shai. They're directly adverse to the ways of the Lord. And what we're about to see is their devices, right, reach their sufficiency, man. The Lord is going to allow this man to reach heights that, of wickedness that the earth has never seen before, man. Right? That's why, these different insiders, right? These people who whistleblowers, as they call them, right? They can only say and understand so much, right? Because they don't understand prophecy, right? They can tell you, how these things are going to come to pass or how these things are going to take place, but they don't know the severity, right? Because they can't marry these things to the scriptures, man. That's why it says things like this in Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Right? Because these things, it's going to be the worst times in history, man. Right? Even the time of Jacob's trouble. You know, so if anybody has read that book, right, 1987, or that is 1984, so like it. But if anybody's read that book, right, that George Orwell, it pretty much chronicles, right, the life of those who are in a dystopian society, which is parallel to what we're going through right now and what's about to come to pass. The only thing is, what's about to happen now is going to be worse, right, than we've ever seen before, man. Like we just read, it's a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So it's going to be worse times. Let's read this in the NLT, right? Let the scripture speak. At that time, Daniel 12:1 in the NLT. At that time, Michael the archangel, who stands guard over your nation, will arise, or because it's going to be so bad that divine intervention is going to be required, man. It says, who stands guard over your nation will arise. Then there will be a time of anguish greater than any since nations, greater than any since nations first came into existence. But at that time, every one of your people whose name is written in the book will be rescued, right? Going into the elect, right? The salvation that's coming for the elect of Israel, man, right? Like I said, this time of anguish is going to be greater than than there ever was since nations were created, man, right? Worse than the flood, right? Worse than 70 AD, right? Worse than the slavery, right? The Middle Passage triangle trade, right? Anything you can imagine, man. Worse than the worst, horror tale they could tell, man. Right? That truth is stranger than fiction, man. Right? Let's see if we can get a definition for that. Let's see. Let's see here. Uh, I don't think they have a definition for it. But you brothers understand what it means, right? This what we understand to come, is about to come to pass is worse than you could imagine, right? That's why it's ever more pressing that we have the fear of Yahweh Bashem Shai, because we know where our power lies, man. We know where our protection lies, right? Let's get this, because we see, right? They use China as the testing grounds, right? They test all these different draconian measures in places like China and in these third world countries, to perfect them before they bring them over to Babylon the Great, right? Because these Americans are definitely they're gonna fight back, right? But they're gonna have the means to quell all the rebellions, man. That's why we have these what are these UN soldiers, right? That are masquerading as migrants, right? That's why they're over here to ultimately be activated in these times, right, to come up against the uprisings of the people, man, right? Now let's go here to Ephesians 5. Just something quick through the spirit, man, right? Because we see, prophecy unfolding right at all time rates, and we're about to, come into the time of the Passover, where right we know that the spirit of the Lord is going to continue to intensify, man, right? And every year, after the Passover, there's always a big event that takes place, man, right? So, Lord willing, that continues on, right, to the point that this will be the last Passover that we have, right, on this side, man, right? Now this is Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, right? So understand, right, the times that we're living in, man, right? As it'll read, redeeming the time because the days are evil, right? Because these days, like scriptures say, evils and only evils are going to come upon the land, man, right? And the words can only illustrate it so much to those who don't believe, man. When you believe, you can envision, right, things being, in a horrible case, right? When you can have that vision, that eye salve, right? Because the scriptures tell us where there's no vision, the people perish, right? You can see how bad things are going to get out here, and the Lord is allowing us to prepare our spirits, right, during this grace period, for what we're about to see. And even then, it's going to be times where, we feel overwhelmed at what's going on. Right? So how much more, those that don't believe, man, right? It says, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And what's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, man? Right? To redeem his elect, right? To redeem his chosen and establish, his son as the ruling power, the ruling influence over the earth. But it's also to destroy this wicked hegemony, man. To destroy all wickedness out of the earth, to remove all things that offend, man. Right? And what the scriptures tell you is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, right? To be able to give us that, it has to be taken from somebody, right? And who's it going to be taken from? Esau, Edom, man, right? By violence, by force. They're not going to just give it up, right? They're not just going to, roll over, right, and hand it over. It's going to be taken by great violence and great death, man. And this is the purpose that the Lord has proposed upon the nations, man, and chiefly upon Babylon the Great. Let me get that in so Isaiah 24, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Because we understand what the will of Yahweh Shema Shai is, and we understand that, right, he's preparing us to see things that we couldn't imagine, right, taking place, right. These people, right, they're not being circumspect, right. They're not walking as in wisdom, So when these things get, start to get hectic, right, they're gonna do what? They're gonna end up folding, man, you know, and they're gonna ultimately run to Esau, Edom for shelter and for comfort, right, which is only gonna lead to more confusion, right. Uh, this is Isaiah 14:24. Okay. Isaiah 14:24, and it reads, "The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand." Right? So the Lord's will is going to take place, right? Whether you like it or not, and his will is to destroy this place. It is to uproot wickedness. It is to cause, major chaos and calamities, right? To the minds of these people, right? To bring great death upon the land, right? All these things to allow Esau, Edom, to feel as though he's gonna, finally exercise the fullness of his wicked devices, man. Right? He's allowing all these things to happen because it's his will, right? And like it says, so have I purposed, so shall it come, or so shall it stand, man. Right? It says that I will break the Assyrian in my land. Assyrian, the spiritual Assyrian being Esau, Edom, right? This American Babylonian hegemony, right? The Assyrians, the Egyptians, right? The Babylonians, right? They all coincide together. It reads that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. Right. So this is what has to happen, right, in order to free us from the bonds of Babylon the Great, man. Right. Great death, great destruction, man. The scriptures, tell us the whole playbook, man. Right. So we understand this truth, right. But when you try to explain this to someone, right, it's strange to them, man. Right. But that's what the scriptures tell us. This actually, let me see here. I'm gonna finish this out and then I'll grab another one. We can close it out. Right. This is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts had purposed it, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? Right, because this is the will of the Lord, to bring all these calamities to pass, man. Right. It's the will of the Lord to make the worst times ever on earth, take place, right? As judgment, right? As retribution, as righteous recompense, for all the wickedness that's taking place out here, man. Right? Let me get this. Because like I said, the truth is stranger than fiction, man. Right? This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 18. Right? Because there's a quote that I like to use that goes, uh, they call you crazy when you're correct, right, too early, right? So when you when you're telling people the truth, the right thing, right before they're ready to hear it, they think you crazy, man, right? They liken you into a fool, and that's how we look in the eyes of these people, man. But we're fools for what? For Hamashiach's sake, man. Right? We'll be fools to this world, right? But to be wise in the eyes of the Lord, you know because that's the only way we're gonna make it through, right? That's the only way we're gonna have that stability and that sound mind, right? That Isaiah 33:6, right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? Because that wisdom starts with fear, right? That reverence of the Lord, and then he starts to, deal, right? And you get built up in wisdom and knowledge, which is gonna give you that sound footing, right? Which is gonna give you that light, that guide in these times where people are going to be moving without guides, man, without the light, right? Without any direction, right? This is going to give you direction and stability, man. But it says here, ooh, Salakia, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise, right? So we're looked at as fools, man, right? You read in Wisdom of Solomon, it says we have accounted his life madness, man, right? We look crazy to these people, man. But it's because what we're telling them seems strange, right? They believe they can read these books, right? These fiction novels, they can watch these movies, but when we tell them, what's to come, they think it's stranger than than that, man, right? And it will be, right? It says, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness." So that, like it says here in the NLT, he traps the wise in the snare of their own cleverness, because you can't outthink Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? It says, and again, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of the wise, and that they are vain. Therefore, let no man glory in men, for all things are yours. Well, that's the point, right? It says here, For the wisdom of the world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Because people think, right? Think they're ready, right? They think they can prepare, right? These preppers, these bunkers, right? All these people, storing up gold and silver, or making plans to, buy, in the bear markets or whatever, stock market crash situations. They think that they're going to be able to come up on the other side. They think they can play Esau's game and win, right? But it's ultimately the Lord, making these things come to pass, and they're going to be caught and taken in those things, man. And 2/3 are going to be caught as well, right? All these heathen are going to be caught as well. Everybody who's not a part of the elect is going to be caught, taken in their own craftiness, man, right? Everybody thinks they have a way out, right? And the Lord is going to prove and show that the only way out is through Him, you know? Uh, Actually, let's get this in. Where we at? Let me see, and we'll close with this. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and I'll start in 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Right? It's stranger, right, than than fiction, man. You know, if you don't believe, these things seem strange unto you. Right? When you have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we expect these things to happen. Right? But non-believers, right, this is going to be a strange occurrence. Right? Leading up to the salvation of the elect, right? All these things that take place, because they don't believe in the prophecies, right? So all these things are going to be strange unto them. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for, right? Because they didn't even consider this possible, right? They thought we were just, making things up, right? Right? The truth is stranger than fiction. Yep. Right? They think we just talking, talking out our asses, man. Right? Just, Jake that reads these, what are they called? Right? Mythology books and things of that nature, man. They see this as that, man, or whatever goes on in these, various movies, right? All they compare it or liken it unto that, but not they don't liken it into actual, actual facts that are going to take place, man. Right? Actual events that are about to, grace the earth. You know. It says, and they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and and his end to be without honor, right? Because we're looked at, as fools, man, right? But they say we fools, in that time, as the brother I talked to when I'm out here in Charlotte says, man, those demons are going to be lifted off of people, man, and that moment of clarity is going to strike them, man, right? And they're going to have full, right, be able to fully recall, you know, all the opportunities that they've had, all the encounters that they had with the prophets, right? They're going to know, that they wasted a perfect opportunity, right? Like it says, we fools account our life madness, and his end to be without honor, Salakia. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints? Therefore we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. And that's what we're seeing. People, they weary themselves in the cares of this life, right? But they won't, make the requisite effort to serve Yahweh Shem Shai, right? Because it seems strange. Righteousness is strange in the wicked world, man, right? It says, therefore we have erred from the way of truth. It's like verse 7. It's like, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. And that's the point, man. Right? This truth, right, is strange in the eyes of, 2/3. It's strange in the eyes of the heathen, right? It's strange in the eyes of unbelievers, right? It's stranger than fiction to them, man. Right? They can believe what's written in these books, right? But they can't believe in the prophecies ultimately because the Lord hasn't, opened their eyes, man. As it tells you, right? The election have obtained it, but the rest were blinded, man. Right? So when they see these strange, occurrences, when they find themselves in these terrible calamities, right? They're gonna be able to harken back to times where they were warned, or times where they had an opportunity to repent, and they gave that opportunity away, you know. But that's pretty much the point. Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson through the Spirit and probably how about Shem Yahweh. I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem. Rakah Hakodash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word without truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. Hey, Kwame Yasharala, we almost home. Shalom.